Good morning, gentlemen. Welcome back to your weekly video roundup of Man vs Fat Swansea. This is Season 4, Week 9's recap. You can see on screen the recipients of the bonus goals there. You can see the white team, Marco van Basten, dominating half of what's on offer. Kyle Lewis, 9.99% of his body weight shifted in just 9 weeks this season. Phenomenal from him. Superb attendance yet again. Pitch goals dwarfed by the scales goals. Royal Rumble for the Purples, 9 weeks in, still got 6 out of their 11 original guys left in the Rumble. Absolutely superb. Number of guys have got themselves reinstated, back in with their second life. Fantastic from them. Blacks usurping the Oranges' title as the best trackers of the week. Well done to them. We move on. You can see there the team losses, some big losses across the board there. Well done to the Whites, picking up the bonus goal for the biggest team loss there. Not too far behind them with the Purples and the Blacks. The Blues doing really, really well as well. Look at that total club loss. Over 300 kilos in 9 weeks. Over 300 kilos shifted in 9 weeks. That's 660 pounds of weight gone in a little over 2 months. Phenomenal. Joe Gear, well done, mate. Smashed it with a huge loss of 4 kilos. Ross annihilating 2.8 kilos there, which helped him hit his 5%. That is genuinely the most surprised I've ever seen a guy to hit his 5%. He did not expect it at all. Completely and utterly, sincerely and honestly shocked himself. It was brilliant to see. He turned up, he tracked, he lost 2.8 kilos, he hit a hat-trick and he got his 5%. Phenomenal contribution to his team and just reward for all of the hard work he's doing for himself. Kyle Lewis, what can you say more? That guy is smashing it this season. Benji Doe, it's so good to see him back. For those of you who are new to our league, there was a time where Benji Doe dominated the top 5 losers, and there was barely a week where he wasn't on this list. So it's good to see him reprise his role and get back to some form of normality for him. Scott Mayo, 2.4 kilos shifted, which helped him hit his 20%. Look at those milestones, guys. 2 for 5, 2 for 10, 2 for 20. All of them brilliant. All of them been through very different journeys, doing it very differently, using different techniques, having ups and downs, some sailing through it, losing each week, but still putting in a lot of hard work behind the scenes. None of those guys are the same. None of those guys have done the same thing. None of those guys are following the same pattern. They've just stuck at it and found something that works for them. They've tried 10 different things, 9 things didn't work, and then they found the thing that did work for them. And it's paying dividends. They're losing weight and they're keeping it off. That's the most important thing. I think that's one of the biggest things that goes unsung, not just in our league, but in the majority of Man v Fat leagues, certainly the Man v Fat leagues in the Welsh region. Guys who are hitting these milestones and continue to remain at the club don't go backwards. They hit these milestones and they keep working forward to the next goal. They don't hit 5, 10, 20, 25% and then start going backwards and putting it all back on. They hit a milestone and they keep trucking forwards. It's such a phenomenally successful thing. We champion so much about long-term habit reform and changing your thought process and your relationship with food. This is testament to it. This is proof of it. These guys aren't just losing body weight quickly in a short space of time and then piling it all back on, like a lot of other weight loss trends and fads out there. These guys are doing it slowly, consistently, something that's sustainable. And it stays off. They hit 5% and they go, right, I'm after my 10. They hit 10% and they go, right, I'm after my 15. They hit 15 and go, right, I want that 20% now. It just keeps moving forwards. Absolutely phenomenal. Well done to these guys. We move on to the results. And it's been one of my favourite weeks. Any of you who have been here for a couple of seasons know that my favourite thing on a Tuesday evening is when a team turn around a pitch loss into an overall victory because of something to do on the scales. Because of milestones or hat tricks or whatever it is absolutely bloody lush from a weight loss league to see weight loss winning games. And that's what we've had here in the first 2 fixtures and definitely in the 4th fixture in terms of turning a defeat into a draw. Marco van Basten, thin it to win it. Hardly anything to split between them, even on the pitch, even on the scales, even on the tracking. On paper, it looks as though the 2 bonus goals are the difference there, and the 2 bonus goals should not go unmentioned. Therefore, the highest attendance of the week, 11 out of 11 Marco van Basten players turned up. I think that's the 2nd or 3rd time this season now they've had all 11 guys show up. Absolutely phenomenal from them. They also had the highest team loss of the week with 7.6 kilos. Those 2 bonus goals richly deserved. But the story there is in CJ Richards hitting his 10%. He'd come along sick as a dog, was in two minds about whether or not to come down or not with how ill he was been. Couldn't play, not well enough to play, but decided to come down anyway, just for himself, for his team, get himself weighed in. Felt like he'd had a good week, didn't want it to go to waste. Hit his 10% and turned defeat into victory for his team without CJ coming down sick and unable to play, but still putting the effort into coming way. Thin It to Win It would have won 18-17. That milestone done when he's not in the best of shape helped his team pick up a 2018 win. Absolutely phenomenal. Well done, CJ. Same can be said of the Flying Dutchman. That would have been a 16-14 win for the Scranra were it not for Scotty Mayo hitting his 20%. One of our league veterans, one of our icons, been around with us for multiple seasons, played on multiple different teams, had his fair share of ups and downs, has gone on long runs of losing weight and then hit a bit of a wall, hit a bit of plateau and struggled to break through and had to change and adjust and work his way around. He is the model for the fact that weight loss is never simple. You never just luck into one thing that works for you for 20, 30, 40 weeks in a row. You might be lucky enough to find something that works for you for 6 weeks, but then it needs changing. And that only works for the next 4 or 5 weeks, and then it needs changing. And that only works for the next 2 or 3 weeks, and then it needs changing. These small little changes and tweaks, Scotty Mayo just takes it in a stride, does it all beautifully, hit his 20%, and picks up a 17-16 overall victory for those extra 3 goals he scored for his team. Phenomenal. Great game between the Yellows and the Blues. Like I said, good to see Benji back out there on the pitch. Picks up his Scales Champion of the Week award from his team for a big loss. Back in force on the scales and on the pitch, I hear. Brilliant game from them. And then, fourth fixture of the night, Corey Davis hitting his 20%. What an absolute legend this guy is. What more can you say about Corey? I've run out of words. There are no more superlatives. Every single time I think this guy has finished in his weight loss journey, he finds a little bit more he can lose. He is super motivated by the Rumble this season. He wants to be the last man standing in the Rumble, and it's keeping him going. And it is evident. His consistency is phenomenal. He's lost every single week this season. Every single week he's lost. Hit his 20%. Without that, Purples would have won 11-8. Because of Corey's milestone, it was 11-all draw. Points picked up for the Greens. Greens actually won on the scales. It's another scales victory for the Greens. Phenomenal from them. A brilliant result. Really good game as well. That game ebbed and flowed. The definition of a game of two halves. Purples were quite comfortably ahead at halftime. Greens really came back into it in the second half. Brilliant all round from those. Well done to the scales champions. And the Rumble, we had a lot of guys leave us this week. 10 of you gone, 13 eliminated, 3 reinstated, 10 down. We're left with 17 guys remaining in the Rumble. From 90 who started, 9 weeks later, we've only got 17 guys left. Next week, then, I expect that number to be below 15. That's when we'll start populating this slide on screen. You'll see the names of those who are still left in. We'll definitely show the still standing competitors. You can, I don't know, maybe we'll have a little bit of a sweepstake amongst those of you who are no longer in the Rumble, and we'll take a few bets on who you think might be winning it out of the names that are left. Thank you to everybody involved. Again, the venue, the captains, Clayton, the referee, standing out there in the most miserable weather I've ever seen, getting absolutely drenched, but still loving it and keeping the banter and the support going with the guys on the sideline. Thank you, mate. Thank you to, we had a lot of food bank donations this week. Food bank showed up in force this week, and we are ready to make our first delivery to wherever we choose. The shelves in the storeroom that Pure Football have allowed us to use are bursting. We've got at least 2 or 3 full crates of stuff to donate somewhere. The events team and Callum, whose idea this was originally, are hard at work deciding where to make our first donation to. We'll definitely take some photos so you guys can see where your things go. Thank you for all your donations. Thank you for engaging in the Steps Challenge. Absolutely phenomenal input and uptake with that. It ran for 6 days, 5 days really, 5 full days and a little bit of Wednesday when we started it. So 6 days, but mostly 5 full days that run for. And you boys almost walked 3 million steps as a league. 3 million steps. That's the same as 59, 60 marathons you guys walked in 5 days. Absolutely phenomenal. It's always brilliant when we put something like this out because we're never quite sure how it's going to go. Is it going to go down well? Are guys going to get involved? And then the response was incredible. So thank you to all of you. I hope it helped. I hope it maybe added a little bit of motivation, a little bit more focus in the week. Hopefully that can carry on and spill over into the next week or two. We'll come up with another challenge soon and put another one out. There won't be one this week. We're not going to keep doing it every week because we've got the Rumble going at the same time. But we'll hopefully get 1 or 2 more out before the end of the season. Yeah, events team are hard at work on that. We'll see you guys on the weekend. We've got our 11-a-side game versus Newport, our return fixture. Newport won the away leg. This is the home leg now. They put on some brilliant hospitality for us. So we're doing the same now. We're all going down to the Deers Leap, the pub run by Andrew Francis Davis, a man who was with us last season on our yellow team before the reshuffle, a man who hit his 20% body weight loss. He's invited us down to his pub for a bit of a knees up and a buffet after the match. Hope you all can make it down there. It'd be brilliant to get you and all the Newport lads down. Yeah, we'll see you on the weekend, chaps. Thank you for another amazing week. Keep talking, keep sharing in your groups, keep doing what you're doing. And yeah, best of luck. See you next Tuesday.